Hello and welcome to my channel. This is my new player guide for the Mesmer profession. This guide is an introduction to help better understand the lore, skills and mechanics of the Mesmer, not a deep dive into the endgame meta. Some of my other guides have been overly long, so starting from now, I will be chopping them up into bite-sized pieces. In part 1, we will talk a little about the history and evolution of the Mesmer profession, then outline its unique abilities. In part 2, we will focus on weapon options and skills, and in part 3, we will cover the remaining slot skills, specializations and builds, and I will also share some advice from veteran players from the Guild Wars 2 subreddit community. Mesmers are the masters of manipulation, wreaking havoc on their enemies as they warp reality and perception to their will. A character much loved by veterans of the franchise, and one of the best known Mesmers from the original game, is Captain Gwen Thackeray. Today, the torch of kick-ass girl power has been passed to Queen Jenna, whose mesmatic prowess is renowned. For lore junkies like me, I will be making a series of profile videos which features both Gwen and Queen Jenna. The Mesmer is a brilliant profession and is viable at both PvE and PvP endgame. Their primary mechanic centers around the conjuring of clones and phantasms to dramatic effect. These illusions can be used as decoys or to deal direct damage and conditions, and when shattered have a variety of explosive effects. Mesmers deal strong long-range damage, but can easily jump into the center of the fray to devastate their enemies. Despite their light armor, Mesmers are one of the strongest tanks in the game and offer invaluable boons to their comrades. They also have access to portal skills, allowing them and their companions to portal between locations instantly. Portals can also offer weary players much needed assistance while undertaking difficult jumping puzzles, winning you friends along the way. You will get portal requests and be asked to use them in WoW World to strategic advantage, so try to be prepared. Just remember, unless you are fulfilling a specific role in an organized group, you get to play how you wish, so don't feel obligated. The profession has evolved from a traditional debuffing scholarly caster to the master of illusion we see in Tyria today. If you are looking for a visually beautiful profession with great variety of play at endgame, the Mesmer may be perfect for you, well, as long as you like butterflies. Mesmers can create up to 3 illusions at any one time, and shattered as mentioned before. There are 2 illusion forms, Phantasms and Clones. Phantasms resemble your character, but are transparent with an ethereal purple hue and carry unique illusionary weapons. Phantasms deal larger amounts of damage and are much more resilient than Clones. Clones are an exact copy and indistinguishable from your real character, even displaying the same name tags. These creations deal very low damage and are often used as decoys. Illusion Shatter Skills are bound to your function keys with a range of 1200, and when activated, destroy all your current illusions. You should note that all your illusions will be dispelled once you've killed your enemy. F1 is Mind Rack, dealing direct damage to up to 5 foes in a 240 radius. The Shatter skill also occurs at your location, and the more illusions destroyed, the greater the damage dealt. F2, Cry of Frustration, causes 3 seconds of confusion on up to 5 foes in a radius of 240. Confusion is a condition that deals damage each second, and additional damage each time your affected target begins to activate a skill. Again, the Shatter effect occurs at your location as well. F3 is Diversion, which dazes a single target for 1 second. The Shatter skill effect again occurs at your location, but you should note that the daze duration is fixed. F4 Distortion grants invulnerability to you for 1 second. For each illusion you shatter, you gain additional invulnerability duration. Invulnerability being an effect that prevents direct damage and conditions and control effects. Heart of Thorns players who have unlocked the Chronomancer Elite specialization gain access to an additional function. Bound to F5, Continuum Split still destroys all your illusions, but instead of affecting your enemies, it creates a rift in the space-time continuum at your current location. The rift can be destroyed, and the health pool of the rift is dependent upon the number of illusions consumed to create it. The more illusions, the greater its hit points, with a maximum of 9,000. The rift lasts 1.5 seconds when activated with no illusions present, and its duration increases for each illusion shattered. When you activate Shift and create the rift, your current health, endurance and skill recharges are saved. Then you continue your battle, taking damage, using your skills, and so on. When the skill expires, you are teleported back to the location of the rift, and your stats are reverted back to your previous levels. You can allow the skill to run its natural course, or at any point during it, you can press F5 again to activate Continuum Shift and reverse time instantly. Mesmers are not just illusionists. They have an arsenal of unique skills in addition to their primary archetype. There are 5 mantras, 1 healing and 4 utility, which have a unique mechanic. When you select a mantra skill, you must activate it like this, which takes 2.75 seconds. The charged skill transforms your action button, and the number of charges that you have generated can be seen just above your action bar here. Once activated, you have 2 charges of this skill, which are consumed on use. Charged mantras can be instantly triggered, even in the middle of another action. The healing skill, Mantra of Recovery, which when charged becomes Power Return, will instantly heal you. Mantra of Concentration, when charged becomes Power Break, which is a personal stun breaker and grants 3 stacks of stability on you and up to 5 allies. Stability is a boon that protects against crowd control effects like knockbacks. Mantra of Distraction, when charged becomes Power Lock, which dazes up to 5 targets for 1 second. Daze prevents players from using their skills for a short period of time. Mantra of Pain, when charged becomes Power Spike, which affects up to 5 targets with flat damage. And finally, Mantra of Resolve, when charged becomes Power Cleanse, which removes conditions from you and up to 5 allies in a radius around you of 240. There are 5 Glamour utility skills which create magical fields. Feedback is a ground-targeted skill which creates an ethereal combo field with a radius of 240. The dome lasts for 6 seconds and reflects damage, returning incoming projectile attacks back to their source. Null Field is a ground-targeted skill which rips boons from your enemies and cures conditions on your allies. It lasts for 5 seconds and can affect up to 5 targets. Veil is a ground-targeted skill which creates a wall that grants stealth to you and your allies. The ground effect lasts for 6 seconds and the stealth duration is 2. Unlike most skills, the number of players who can gain this effect is not limited. Time Warp is an elite skill which grants quickness to you and your allies for 2 seconds and slows your foes again for 2 seconds. This ground-targeted skill affects up to 10 players, lasts for 10 seconds, and is unblockable. And finally, we come to Portals, one of the most powerful skills in the Mesmer's arsenal. This skill is used extensively in player versus player and world versus world builds. Portal Entree creates a field at the caster's feet. So you create your entree at your current location like this, and then you have 60 seconds to move to another position. Once you get to where you want to or need to be, you can cast Portal Exant. This creates a wormhole between the 2 portal locations, allowing players to instantaneously travel between them. From Portal Entree to the Exant, you have a maximum range of 5,000 in World v World and in player vs environment areas. For PvP, the range is 6,000. The wormhole will last for 10 seconds and has 20 charges, which are consumed as players use the portal. The portal cannot be targeted or destroyed and can only be used by allies. Manipulations are utility skills with a variety of effects, for example allowing your allies to temporarily rally, granting you stealth, and it also has an instant teleport blink. Mirror is a personal heal skill which also reflects projectiles for 2 seconds. Arcane Thievery has a range of 1200 and is unblockable. When it's used, it sends 3 conditions from you to your target and steals 3 boons. Blink sees use in player vs player and world vs world builds and is a ground targeted instant teleport, which also acts as a stun breaker. The range of the teleport is 1200. To maximise usage, ensure you have selected set ground targets to maximum range in your options here. This is a brilliant skill for getting you out of danger fast and just getting about the map faster. Illusion of Life allows up to 3 allies to temporarily get up from the down state and keep fighting. If they then successfully kill their foe within the allotted 15 seconds, they will be fully revived. You must kill your foe to rally and will return to the down state if you fail to do this. Mimic grants the buff Echo found here, which allows your next utility skill to recharge faster for the next 10 seconds. Finally, Mass Invisibility is an elite skill which grants stealth to you and up to 10 allies. The stealth effect lasts for 5 seconds and the radius of the skill is 1200. So that's the end of part 1 of the Mesmer. I hope you will join me in part 2, where we will focus on weapons options and skills. Please let me know in the comments whether you like the shortened format of this guide. If you are thinking about joining the Guild Wars 2 community, there are referral links below for both the free-to-play account and the Heart of Thorns expansion, which thanks to ArenaNet now helps support my channel. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and a thumbs down if you didn't. And as always, thanks for watching.